Join me, please, in welcoming María Elvira Salazar now as she shares her thoughts on this important legislation. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thanks to all of you. I'm just from Washington. And thank you for the opportunity to be here and talking about the topic that is most dear to my heart, which is immigration. I know that we're being transmitted live by WLRN, which is great because then that way we can get to other constituents and other people in South Florida and all over the country. I'm not sure you want me to sort of explain what the dignity is, and then you guys are going to ask questions, or what's the format?
I think it would be helpful if they heard from you what you feel.
Sure. Yeah, okay, so immigration is the most toxic topic in Washington. Everyone is afraid to talk about it, Democrats and Republicans. And unfortunately, I do not understand why for 40 years, 40, since Ronald Reagan, we've not had an immigration reform law of any significance. We're talking about before the internet existed. We have this problem. So since I represent the city of Miami, I was born in Miami. I'm the daughter of political refugees. Cubans have had a privileged position when it comes to immigration. I thought that it was my duty to present a piece of legislation that could cover millions of people who have been here for years, contributing to the economy with no criminal record, and giving their lives to the economy of the United States for all of us to have a better economy, have cheaper homes, better vegetables, clean hotels, and many other sectors that are touched by this undocumented class. And for that reason, I wrote the Dignity Bill. Dignity, that's what I think they deserve, a dignified life in the promised land. Politics is the art of the possible. And right now at this hour, well, I'm talking about 40 years, right? We're talking about Republicans and Democrats, both. Presidents that have had the opportunity to fix the problem, and they do not. So at this hour in Washington, the art of the possible is what I'm presenting, which is a very Solomonic, in the middle law. You let them stay, then meaning those who have been here, I call them the historicals. Those who have been here for more than 5 years do not have a criminal record. They have been working, paying taxes. They have been specifically concentrated on those 3 sectors which are so important: construction, hospitality, and agricultural, slaughterhouses, dairies, greenhouses, carnivals, healthcare, plus many other sectors. And bring them out of the shadows, allow them to live a dignified life in the promised land, be able to go back home, buy a home, a car, issue a credit card, a bank account, and just be among us, but not hiding. In exchange of that, they would have to then pay that group of people would have to pay $7,000 in fines over 7 years. 1% of their salary will be levied for 7 years, and that will create 2 pots of money. That one will go to retrain American workers, and the other one is going to go directly to the Treasury. So this bill is not going to cost the average taxpayer 1 penny. Washington, I don't have to explain to you, is highly divided on many topics, and this is one of the ones who divides Washington the most. And for that reason, I decided to take away the path to citizenship, which then will explain to those who do not like immigration that we're not giving amnesty to anyone. Amnesty is the scarlet word, is the bad word. I do not know what amnesty really means, because it means many things to many people. But I believe that maybe amnesty would be no path to citizenship. We're not going to be rewarding with citizenship those people who snuck in through the border 20 years ago and they have been here living in the shadows. Okay, fine, so then don't give them citizenship, but give them dignity. Have them live with dignity in this land until they decide to go back home. That's basically, then we have catch and release, but that's basically the gist of this bill. And I assure today that President Trump will sign it.
That leads me really then to my first question, and I think it's the question that's most on probably most people's minds here, because I think whether or not you agree with this or that part of the bill, there is that question of will eventually President Trump sign it. You seem to be gaining a little bit more momentum in the House right now. I don't know why this is in the House right now in terms of gathering more GOP colleagues to the bill. What are you doing perhaps now in 2025 that you didn't or weren't able to do in the previous 3 years to garner more GOP support for this bill that perhaps makes it
I didn't do anything.
more viable?
Reality is hidden. You know, life happens to everybody. So I just presented legislation and the circumstances, what happened on November 6th, what happened in New Jersey, what happened in Virginia, what happens on the political spectrum, that will send a very strong message to the White House, specifically to President Trump, who I believe that he dares, he has the fortitude, the political courage to do things that other presidents, Republicans and Democrats, have not dared to do. And for that same reason, he comes from two sectors which are key: hospitality and agriculture. And construction. Construction and hospitality. He has hotels, golf courses, and he has construction. There is no way that we're going to be able to have affordable housing, that we're going to be able to build more homes if you do not have people laying the bricks or pouring the cement, period. And then that is going to increase the 4 million units that I was yesterday at a hearing where in the housing subcommittee, I'm a member of the Financial Services Committee, and we were having a hearing yesterday where we were talking about the housing crisis in this country. All right, so if you want to buy a home and the demand is there, but the supply is not, what does that do? That increases the price of the home. So you cannot buy the home, right? Oh well, but if we increase the supply, because there are people laying the bricks, doing all the things, the roofers, doing everything that you need to do in construction, then those prices are going to go down. The same thing with the vegetables. The same thing with everything that has to do with what we eat. If we do not have those people that I'm defending on the fields, we will not have food by Friday. And then all that reality is sort of hitting. So that's what I'm saying. Next year, before the summer, we're going to have the sun.
How, though, do you change the culture? I mean, I would second what's already been expressed by the panelists here before you arrived, that you need to be acknowledged for your courage.
Hey, it's not courage. It's common sense. Which is the least common of all senses in Washington.
Let's say you
and I represent the city of Miami. I mean, I think that Cuban Americans are the ones who should step up to the plate and give what we have had for 60 years to the rest of our brothers and sisters in Latin America.
The culture particularly on the right these days is that we should not be focusing on legal immigration, but stay obsessed with cracking down on illegal immigration. How do you change that mindset in the country?
And that is something that has me highly perturbed. Trump promised that he was going to do the largest or the most important, the massive, well, what was the right word? The biggest deportation in the history of the country. All right, so we are talking about the bad hombres. That's what he promised, or that's what we thought, the bad hombres. We do all agree that we have to kick out of the country those who snuck in and who are criminals and rapists and Tren de Aragua and MS-13 and the rapists and all those and the drug dealers. You kick them out of with no passion according to my book. Kick them all out. You rape somebody, oh, you're not coming back. And we're going to put you in jail. But I'm talking about that group of people, that 10, 12 million people, who do not have a criminal record and who have been on the fields so we can all eat better and cheaper vegetables or everything that has to do with edibles, and those people are being touched. And that's when we have a problem. And right now, that's happening. And I have acknowledged it, and I send a message every single day, not only to leadership in the GOP in the House of Representatives, but to the White House. And there is unfortunately a quota that should be a quota to catch criminals or illegals, not a quota